My name is Emil, also known as Ansvar. I work as the in-game director or head observer during the Face It Global Summit.
So it's 2 versus 4.
Good. Going for number 4 in 3, 2.
The RC are pushing. I can take Rogi and Rusty Zera.
I'm pretty much the one that decides what goes out, when does it go out, how does it go out. And then on top of that, I have 6 observers, as well as a map stream. We have one guy that is a designated overview. He's supposed to give us the cinematic shots, while the rest of them are kind of fluid. They're there basically to catch as much of the action and spread out as good as possible. So if we don't catch it live, we want it as a replay.
And as well, it's going to go up there. AG is driving closer.
Yeah,
now.
I'm on one.
Yeah, going on 1.
Wow.
Yeah, call that as a highlight. Yeah. I didn't get it. Highlight on 1.
The hardest part with observing would be the decision making on what to show, when to show it. And also you have the fact that people need to be there before it happens. You have to kind of predict what ridge will they pass, what house will they be shot from.
Yeah, can we get that intersection, somebody? Up by...
yeah, I got it. I'm on Vard right now.
I got it.
I'm on Vard.
Wow.
He might stop.
Go
He's
for
stopping.
Number 1.
Action on me.
Going for number 5.
When there's several teams that you kind of want to keep an eye on, it's always depending on where do you have the observers. If we're on a less important fight from the beginning, we will sometimes decide to showcase that just because we don't want to jump into the middle of something without give them an explanation. Where are we? Where are they fighting? How are they fighting? If you just go in without knowing how the area looks, you're kind of lost as a viewer. Before the games, I usually talk a little bit to the casters. I tell them, oh, we'll focus on these 4 teams or these 5 teams in the beginning, give you an overview so you can present them. And then it's kind of give and take. Sometimes I will give them what to talk about, and sometimes I'll respect that they're talking about something and then give them the footage of it. So it's a very important collaboration that has to work, because if it doesn't, you'll have a flawed stream and the viewer won't really, you know, if the caster and the footage you're watching doesn't add up 90% of the time, it's not worth watching, in my opinion. This event gave us a really, really good start, so we didn't really feel like we had any issues when we came into the first game of the day, and I feel that it showed when you looked at the broadcast, because sure, I have input on what we can do better, but as a first day, I'm just super happy, and I couldn't be more happy to work for Face It out of all TOs.
Yeah, I'm on you. Yeah, got it, number 5. Good start, lad. Good first game, good first game.
One final match here to determine who is going to be able to make it to the grand finals in those top 8 positions. The remaining 16 teams will move down into sudden death elimination mode, which will be happening tomorrow. My name's Kyle Loris, I'm your desk host, and to my right-hand side, Toffee's Avenger.
Hello.
Boys, boys, boys. Actually, we're going to start things. It's the final game of Erangel. It's time for Toffee's takeaways. We need to go to our first 2 games of Erangel.
Yeah.
What are we going into game number 3 with?
This is a hard Toffee's takeaway, because everything that I asked for the teams to do, I said take away the desire for lower teams to perform well, top teams to secure their jobs. It seems like everybody's just sort of falling into that idea. The lower teams have come out guns blazing. I think that right now, the thing that we need to see is if you are in the mid-pack, look at whatever you have to do to pick up some bonus points, and think about who's going to be messing with you tomorrow. Possibly, if you're sort of mid-pack and you know you're going to elimination anyway, now's the time to mess with the guys on the bottom of the pack who might be trying to catch up to you.
I'm looking forward to see some of these bottom teams as OMGs, as some of these teams that are really in need of points going forward to tomorrow. OMG for me is, I was like really expecting them to blow out everything here. They've been playing extremely well in the regionals, in their own league, especially Dojo Legends as well. So I'm a bit nervous, because I really want them in the grand finals through the sudden death, because there's no chance they're making it directly from today.
No, indeed. 32 points for OMG. AHQ down there, 26 points. Aerowolf Team 7, 27 points. Those are our bottom 3 right now. And even then, the gap to Blue Bees is about 15 points as they sit in the 21st position right now. So it's been a bit of a disaster really for OMG, where we all kind of expect, you know, the world champion. Time has gone on. Time time has changed. The world has definitely gotten better around with it when it comes to PUBG. But OMG, we want more.
I just think it's time for the Eastern teams to drop the politeness, to drop this 50% chance we win sort of thing, and just take up that mentality of this is our game. Even in that interview we just had with the winners, they said, well, we work really hard and we try really hard, and it was all very polite. You know, get up there, show some pride, you know, mark your territory, and come out smashing on the next one.
All right, it is the final game of the day here for Erangel, the final game of the group stage as well. After this, it's eliminations, and after that, it's grand finals. Let's head to the commentary team for all of the action one more time for Day.
Thank you so much, and there's a lot to be said here, so we're going to keep it succinct and to the point. We're not going to mess around here. There's a little bit of a chance, Richard, that there could be changes. Now,
there is.
You've done the math because I can't do it. Thank you, our education system. We need to talk about what can happen here, because there is a chance that potentially a team could get into that top 8. It is a slim chance. It's going to be numerically based. It's very hard to predict this, but it could happen, and what that means, they avoid elimination, and that's something quite imperative.
Yep, we have a locked position in number 8. Armory Gaming, who are in Group B, are not here. They are waiting in the mist to see if their fate has been sealed. There is an option, and there is an alternate universe where they do not make the grand finals.
Yes.
There are 5 teams that could jump them. Entus, 18 points. Cloud9, 19 points. Windstrike, 21 points. Crystal Luster, 23 points. Aerowolf 1, 25 points. That's basically a doable task, but you would take a win and at least 10 kills to boot. You need double digits going into this. When we talk about kills, we've seen plenty of teams do it.
But you need
it's certainly possible. And it is a team who can, in my opinion. They clutched it up to get here. It's Windstrike. They got here by tooth and nail on 1 point.
Okay. All right, well, here's the task then. I know we have D-Man and Scoom in the back. They've been watching this with, you know, vision across the map. They've been watching everything going on. I'd love you guys to try and keep tabs on those teams. Give us your thoughts going forward about how they're progressing, and they can break it down for you guys at home. Twitch going to see the action as it unfolds. And the same old, wait, tell a lie. Do we see something a little different here? ENF, hello, where are these guys? We've got early action here. Teams getting a little bit hot and bothered, a little bit wild in what they're doing. This is not what I expected.
This is all the way up in the north. There's 3 teams kicking up here. Circle has just come in off the side. It's not quite center, but it's near enough there. Everyone's got a bit of a safety net for now. Crystal Luster, they are a team that's within their chance. They need, how many did I say? 23. So an early engagement like this, it's good, but it's also not great should they be on the receiving end of it.
We saw them frag out earlier, though. They were one of the teams that really put up some numbers kill-wise, so I'd be a little bit scared of them, but maybe the Blue Bees are trying to be a real pain here, and they're certainly doing that already, making the opposition lose out on a player this early. This is devastating. This could be them removed from the running here. This could be them losing out on the chance to go away from that elimination stage.
Yeah, even if they win this battle, losing a player throughout it, it's going to throw everything that they've built into the wind and make it a lot difficult. I'm not saying it's completely out of the question just now. Tap will come through. Mac 10 off the back, hits him in the face. They will fall back to this one. And the reason they have to do so is this bad boy, M16, red dot.
That's a nice pickup.
It certainly is, especially, oh well.
Oh, VSS.
Wacky Jackie, somewhere in the distance, is very happy with that one. Lavely finds him. Not quite confirmed yet. I'm actually hearing a lot of screams from down on that stage. You can tell the players are definitely getting intense.
I just want to see that VSS go off. Give me that full auto. Give me something. Go for it. Please do this. Please, for the VSS. Make it seem viable. I love that gun, honestly.
He's got armor. That's the most important thing, Lauren. Not a lot of these players have.
Oh, he's considering it. VSS is on the back, though, so my joy and my excitement levels are dropping, but this could still be pretty interesting if he does peek that corner. You can see the caution, though, not going to go for the wide peek. That's smart. Might wait for the potential timing to come out with his teammate as the revive's now going to come in. I'm wondering where the other player is at the moment. Where's that supplementary position? Long DD's trying to hold that flank. That's smart positioning.
Here comes the push. They're now getting themselves together. Bluebees, they know these guys are damaged and they won't be able to get much of a heal off.
Okay, it should be go time now. They should quicken the pace, and I see the VSS is out. That's going to probably confirm the kill. Oh, they're on the run! But did they get taken down? It looks like they've been taken down. Oh, and there goes the final player. Okay, Crystal Luster was one of the teams that could have done it, and their chances now dashed to make it through to that I guess, more comfortable position away from the elimination stage.
Yep, they're gone. A position will jump up. More importantly, bigger picture here. 4 players are removed from the map. That's 4 potential points for the other teams that are looking to confirm this one. Entus, where are they? Oh, they're really in the thick of it. Okay, so they've got the biggest chance here. We'll take a quick replay and show you how things did pan out here. You'll be able to see the circle come in and where all the teams are going to be kicking it and moving around. Was that the actual VSS on the car? I think it was. Oh, God, it was, out the back of it.
I love VSSs.
What a lad.
I just love a VSS.
It's a nasty gun. The fact that you get it with a 4x straight off the back is, and a viewfinder as well if you know how to use it.
It's pretty nice. Now, beyond that, I said at the start that once we see a bit of the action going on, the route, anything that stands out, we will head into our sideline reporters who are watching this with eagle eyes and see if there's anything different. STK, a little bit of a switch up here, but they're not one of the big teams that could potentially threaten anyone. They're safe. They're pretty solid at the moment.
It's, in my opinion, and this is another theoretical thought here, Liquid have literally could have potentially stopped C9 getting to the grand finals because they've had, what, a 16th and a 14th placement.
But you can't say that as well. Like, for Cloud9, I get being confident in yourself, but there's a point where you go, this isn't working. There's only so many times you can do something and expect a different result. I'm pretty sure that's something called madness. You know what I mean? Do the same thing over and over and expect a new outcome. That's not a real good tendency to have. If you keep losing to Liquid, it's time to look at another option because, okay, sure, they'll be fine. I mean, they're still sitting okay. They're not in a really bad spot. It's not a complete disaster. But I expect more from Cloud9 because I know they're a good team. That's the difference here. Now, a bit of a spray from Shoot to Kill's player. That's Adam. Catching a couple of bullets on the cross there. Actually going to make a few connect too.
Few maneuvers going down. Well, yeah. Hello? Bumper cars? Hello?
Wait, are they pulling up on this?
He literally just battered him. He rammed him and then runs him over.
Adam!
He rammed the car.
You hate to see it. I
love to see it. Just bash him off and stick him down the ditch. Okay.
Yeah, that's suddenly become a little bit weird of a situation. And Adam was out on his own. SDK weren't exactly like pulling up there. They weren't exactly like locking that down. That wasn't a position that they were going to commit for, but it's happened, and we're seeing teams make fumbles and small errors. That circle coming in though, Rich, anything stand out to you? It's pretty slap bang in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest pivotal point of all this. You've got Entus lingering. No one from C9 or Liquid dead yet. OMG have got themselves involved. This is a super, super condensed circle. Everyone's going to center up, and Parade comes their way. We'll see if we get a hard shift, because a hard shift would really throw this one into the wind for the simple fact that if it went north, the amount of hard migration that would come through and you'd have to cross that little river.
I love the position the Tempo Storm guys are in. Well, two of the Tempo Storm guys. It used to be the OP ledge when third person was the only perspective you could get. You could see perfectly over it and they couldn't shoot you, but you could kind of like jump out and shoot them. Very, very nice, but they're not alone. They're being watched. This was Shoot to Kill against Tempo Stormers. The traces you're seeing kind of off to the side on MBS's screen. And NIP are watching this all go down. So they know there's two teams here. They have very, very good ideas as to what's going on.
Well, by this time for now, clearly, oh, that was definitely a quick look. He saw him. And now the bullets will have to come through. NIP, yeah, there's the dink and the tag. No frags will be found from either of these three teams kicking it over here.
We're seeing the Cloud9 fight begin with Team Liquid this time.
Wait, isn't that the same one as before, the first kill?
I don't remember. K-Mine this time confirms it. That's pretty impressive. That's what you want to be seeing. Team Liquid actually aren't fully committed to this. You can see them playing the hillside here. It looks like they started to peel away, and Cloud9 are on the move. They're looking to move down towards, I guess, the northern side, using the hills and trying to work their way around. Maybe trying to hunt down Samty, who is looking towards the western side. So, interesting play coming out. Maybe trying to get into each other's heads here, because clearly they know what's going on.
I've got to be careful, though. Entus is just north of them in the poor man's Pachinki area.
I mean, it's easy to get tunnel vision to an extent. This was the kill that happened earlier, I'm pretty sure. There's the nade. Went over. Actually, no, it's not. This is Ibby on the run.
This is still a committed fight between a couple of players. Liquid's gone really split. I wonder if they caught Samty on the retreat then. Gemty's taking the church side.
Well, we did see Liquid previously, not when it wasn't just Cloud9 here, put players in this position up on the hill. They peeled away from it. Now, the problem is that they've lost out on one of their, I guess, rotation holders. They've lost out on one of the players who's probably holding on the southern side. So now it's going to be very hard for them to stay alive with one player. But what does it matter to them?
Yeah, and I suppose the last 2 engagements, it's been C9 who've got the first pick as well. You know, the opening frag, and they've not really made anything happen off the back of that. A couple of return frags here and there, but Circle goes up to the north, enters, at the back end of an AKM from Samti. Where are they going to go in open field? He nails this. There's a man who can.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt Samti.
It would be Sam.
There's so many people already in such dedicated positions. It looks like the tire might have been popped there, a bit of a spin out potentially, or they're just backing into cover. It does seem as though we are going to be seeing one tire popped out for Indigo. So not exactly ideal in this position, but might be able to find a dip to work from, but might just get the heck out of there. Again, there's no one in that northern side, so imagine the circle is almost half if you want to think about it that way for now. We might see teams have to go to it. They might have to dedicate themselves towards the northern side. Incognito, another team that could potentially be one of those contenders on the move, but they are in a very, very densely populated area, and there is a free Jeep rolling into the wild.
I believe it's smoking.
It is.
You don't want to
Bad
get
for
into
your
that.
health.
Oh, AB. All right.
Here we go.
That's a sniper cross. There's a pick, there's an opener. Now they'll advance onto it. Be able to get the confirmation inside, but he's very aware that could be a player lingering. That's an answer back, though. Peeks the corner, defends him for now.
The other two are far away, if I'm not mistaken. The other two are the ones on the hill, so I don't see there being any quick trades or help en route. This should be Cloud9 stabilizing until they try and leave Pachinki quite potentially, and now Incognito are losing out on players. This is another team that was in the runnings to try and push that top 8. Losing out on players is not ideal.
OMG also on the advancement. Aerowolf 1 and 7 clashing heads up north, unfortunately. NIP still kicking it in the west, just chilling. Jempty reads the information that he's been given. 3 players in there, it looks like. Unfortunately, they rocked upon the side of the remnants of Incognito, but there is a response back from the sideline. Flying KK gets one. That's a Scar at range. Job done. Entus now also getting involved in this. They've been lingering. They're the ones that need points. They need to pick up as many as possible. 2
kills isn't a bad start for them. If they can actually get some of these down players, if they could maybe find that downed OMG player who's trying to be revived desperately, that would have been phenomenal for them. I don't see it happening. I think the cover's there in place for now, but you can see that Entus, they definitely want for this.
Well, to make it even closer, they only need 7 more kills and a win, and that's them in the grand finals.
Now that would be nice. It looks like Samti's just caught a glimpse of Cloud9 though. Samti, he knows what's coming his way potentially. I'm not sure how much information he has, if he saw more than one. I think he might have just seen Profi moving forward. And again, the rest of Cloud9 aren't that close by. Jempty's on the prowl as well. He spotted out 2, information being relayed. They're being herded. They are being herded like sheep. But the sheep seem to have a bit of fight back in them. It's a bit of a turn here, and in the meantime, Samti lost out. Finally, Cloud9 beat out Liquid. Cloud9, I mean, they finally won it, but it took until the final game of the day.
Well, that puts them 15 points away, 5 more kills and a win. And again, this is a numbers game for this final spot. It is locked at the moment, in theory, but there is still a chance for these Group A and C teams to work their way up. Unfortunately, Armory Gaming is going to be sat on tenterhooks as their fate is about to be decided after this one. You see, this is why I love this whole group stage. The whole thing about it, that you're not out of it once we're all said and done. That circle is horrendous.
It's amazing. What do you mean?
That water in the middle makes this
yeah.
such an IGL freaking nightmare. Where do you go? Where do you commit to? Rozhok's going to be a stable location, but there's literally 2 teams already inside.
So you could probably get maybe 1 or 2 more teams in Rozhok at a real uncomfortable push. The northern side is sparse. NIP might be looking at that as a potential. What I'm looking at is the southwest. That is littered with teams. You've got Tempo Storm, you've got STK, VSG's down there. You have teams further south going to move that way as well. NIP popping off shots on AHQ as they work their way around towards the north side.
I love NIP's position. NBS, just so you're aware, guys.
I love this position.
Keep an eye on this one, but also keep an eye on NBS. In the background, the observers, he set up a bridge campment. They've locked down 2 positions to stop people getting in the north. Here we go, takes the position, knocks one. There's another one following through, though. Can he find this? If they do, he'll send this guy flying into the welcome arms of the rest of NIP. This is a beautiful setup.
Yeah, they've got Miraku holding one bridge and MBS holding the other, and then you have Gaxi and Vard at the kind of, I call it, I don't know why, we call it the kind of quad houses that just sit. It always gatekeeps the western side when the circles move out. Every time you'll always seem to find players there. But it does seem as though Winner's gotten away with his life, but they've lost out on so much in the process. SR plus the other teammate is going to go MBS's way. This could be more players coming through towards MBS. Is he in position to welcome them? Again, he's going to be healing up in the blue, get the loot, and now looks towards the next couple of plays. He's ticking down slowly but surely. Here they come, the next potential victim. Spy comes in towards him. He's spraying, banking on a couple to hit, and nothing really comes through. Wait, are they pulling up? They're pulling up on an MBS. He did not expect that. Oh no! He's hit the deck. He's going to have to go down and try and stay alive here. The HP is chunking. The blue does damage. Maluki's gone down in the background, and the nade comes over. It doesn't need to in the end. That should confirm it as well. No, he stays alive, but CC did it.
NIP's actually pulled up here. Really? Do they want to just continue this one through and rack up the points? They do. They're fighting in the blue. They fancy this.
NIP, this is lovely. This is big aggression. This is Battle Royale that we like to see. Gaxi trying to use that vision from up above on this hillside, peeking out very cautiously to not silhouette too lightly, but it's Miraku to deliver towards CC, and they are racking up bodies. They need these kills to come in, and they are. This is perfect for NIP.
Kings of the North. That's what they will be by eliminating any kind of advancement from this western side. They've just murdered AHQ. Winner will be left standing on his own, strong, but really what can he do against a very set of angry ninjas? They're playing absolutely fantastic so far across the last 2 days. Tempo Storm, another team that's looking very stable, going against North American friends. Just over by the ruins. C9, look. Oh,
it's gone north. I love it.
God.
Yes, I love it so much. Cloud9 just pulled up into a sandwich as well. Yeah, they just, so it was Cloud9 that pulled up towards Incognito. Insight goes down. That's them gone. They were ones in the running. Cloud9 laying down nades and nades and nades and damage everywhere on towards ENF. Yak on the receiving end of a little bit. It looks like Cloud9 are a team possessed currently. They're trying to play this one out. Nerf has been knocked though. That's a bit of a loss, and they could definitely do with them being up.
Remember, Lauren, these are the two teams that have potential of taking that 8th spot. Entus and C9 are the closest out of anybody in this lobby to jump up above Armory Gaming. Entus don't want none of it. They say, no, we're the furthest away from the circle. We've had the hard shift against us. Let's go out. Let's get the hell and wrap around. The problem is the bridge. That's their only entry point into the eastern side of the circle. Windstrike have set up a trap. The next team below them, Windstrike, who need 21 points, are waiting on the bridge. If both of those vehicles go flying... What?
Oh, Star-Lord! You've just lived up to your name. What a beast of a play! He just rolled up, ran him over, got out. Was he invisible? How did he just do that?
Please, God, tell me we have a replay of that.
Just put it in slow-mo. Make me happy. Look, here it comes.
In the frigging world.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Is this?
It's everything I've ever wanted.
Oh, my. Let's watch it again.
Very happy. ENF, hold on. ENF are going on the eastern bridge. We need to get over to it. Windstrike are finding them. Yak's just gone down. This is not the fight I was thinking of. It's the Windstrike one. ENF are locked on the bridge for now. It does seem as though Yak has been confirmed killed, and here it is. You can see them struggling to make it further forward. They have pinned him indeed, and then you can see the burning of the car going in. The other two players, I think, made it across. They're on the other side. But how long do Windstrike stay here? They've got a bit of a 2-2 split. I don't think they can stay here too long.
I disagree. I like where they are.
I'd love them to stay.
It's because they've got the slower side of the circle, but the water is the problem. The fact that Entus can dip down and hide from them.
You're right.
But again, they need the points. Both of these teams, there's nothing to lose. They're not going out of the competition. Windstrike, if they get stuck in here, that's eliminating the closest opponent and also picking up a ton of points.
Cloud9 are about to come in towards Rostock. They have to get past the Bees. OMG aren't far. VSG, 8 kills to their name. Very, very big performance for them. They're about to see a couple of players not too far away, but it's Star-Lord who is just going to be the god-tier player that I love to watch. And there's Cloud9 coming to Rostock. Profi is lost. No revives available. And the Blue Bees waited very patiently here for any teams that are coming from the south. It looks like K-Mind and Nerf are looking for an alternate route.
While all this is going on, OMG says, it's not a problem, boys. Because once you've dealt with them, you have to deal with us. They're going to linger for now. Entus have opted to play water spot and hit the river. Oh, look at this. They're getting aggressive, Lauren. They smell them out. They put them in the corner. Lobes is caught off guard here. Separated from the rest of Cloud9. They've all bunkered down into a house.
Lobes can run it though. He needs like 1 or 2 smokes and he can run it, and he just has to hope that K-Mine can help him. They are. That's huge as well. Temmie's got a drop weapon too. That's pretty big. That could certainly help him out here. And Jorski eyeing it up as well. There are certainly a lot to be seen on this side, but there's still a player alive for ENF, so they are not out of it yet. Lobes is going that long flank that we expected, but oh, Cloud9 are certainly not out of the woods yet. These nades, these smokes, these flashes are going to keep them on their toes, and the circle is further north.
Again, another hard shift, but that water will force that one up to the north. NIP can just play spoiler to all these teams that want to get all the way up into the top 8. They're like, hey boys, free kills for days. They get them at range. The SKS comes through. Remember, VSG is confirmed. Winstrike forming up Entus. Their chances look shattered here. One man standing. Wait, have they actually gone up against the rest of Aerowolf here, VSG? I think they have. I think they've committed to this compound where they're lingering around. Starlord with the M24 in the level 3 build, and Hulk's below him to get the line of sight.
Hold on, it looks like K-Mine and Nerf are about to make a run for it too. I don't know if OMG have seen them. I know they've heard OMG shoot. I don't know if Silent has spotted them out yet. They tried to move around the Bs, but that's happening in the meantime. Winstrike are moving in as well. That's going to be the next big thing for them. They'll be in the circle, and no one's to their east just yet. There could be a late flank there. This cross for Cloud9 could be deadly. We still have a 1 remaining player for Entus. They still have a player alive here. OMG are still kicking. They could be the spoilers with the Blue Bees in the south.
So this is an unbelievable play from Winstrike. They now can stand their guard and let everyone come across the bridge. It's basically a filter. There's so many people coming towards Winstrike. There's 2 cars, there's 3 cars.
Oh my God, they just found Line KK. This is big for them. They need more. They need to keep racking them up, and they are. Clouds goes down, whereas the rest of them, OMG, are eliminated.
The Bees are there as well, so now they get involved in this. Yeah, they're pretty tanked up as well, Lauren.
They can't overextend. There's still players behind them, but it looks like the Blue Bees are opening up towards Cloud9. So Winstrike are probably going to fold onto this. It looks like the Blue Bees are trying to occlude that side of the hill. That's smart. Nookie doesn't like it.
Oh my
He's
God.
going to take down KR10. Where's the next couple of players? There's still 2 players in this area. 1 for Entus and 1 for the Bees.
We tried doing the math, and I believe these guys need 21 points. If my math is wrong, due to a tiebreaker, then it would be 22 to absolutely confirm it. 2 solo players lingering down there, but Winstrike, they need this win. They know that whatever's left down below them, as Brazil comes out from the blue, pretty tanked
This
up.
could be a third party.
Entus could do damage here.
This is so dangerous. You can...
The thing is, though, for Entus, all right, they're down to 1 player, but if he kills the Blue Bees, he's basically taking points away from Winstrike.
Yes, but he doesn't know that. He can't sit there and count this for them, surely not. That would be next level for him. Maybe just trying to get high ending points is good. That's the best he can hope for, but it looks like the Bees are going south. They might come across him. Oh no, it looks like they've been spotted now. Here we go. Who gets what? It's Nookie to get the knock, but we haven't seen the kill yet. K-Mine could see this. So did the Entus player. Do not write it off just yet. Flashbang, he's going to use everything he can. The circle moves to the north. K-Mine finds the kill on the Entus player. They are out of the running now to get towards that top 8 confirmed comfortable spot. Beyond that, Winstrike towards the south, looking towards the Blue Bees. They still have an eye on this. K-Mine, I think, is your last man alive for Cloud9. You still have so many teams alive in this.
I'm just going to try and do the math here to make sure I'm absolutely bang on.
Oh, there's a revive coming in as well. So that kill certainly did not come across. So here we go, K-Mine. They've got 6 kills currently throughout in this round. But they need the win. K-Mine is going to have to pretty much go out of his mind if he wants to clutch this for Cloud9. Does spot out a player, so he knows that Winstrike are up there, but he doesn't want to take these fights. He really doesn't, but Winstrike are being watched. Aerowolf, the other Aerowolf team, are certainly aware of it, but it looks like the engagement came from the Blue Bees. They are not going down without a fight. It looks as though there is still trouble on the horizon for Winstrike.
22 is what it would take. K-Mine's gone. C9, they're not having it. It's done. VSG presses through as well. Another elimination. 2 more from Winstrike. Back to back onto the Blue Bees. Unfortunately, they're gone out of this one as well. 6th place becomes their grave. Winstrike They're not out of it yet. They have to make an advancement, but the problem is that they've got AW littered and scattered in buildings. They'll have so many lines of sight on them. That's the bigger problem.
Okay, so Windstrike can take that southern side. I think there's a little bit of a dip enough. It's so hard to remember this so clearly. I mean, there's maybe small room to move, but the Rangers have a player there. That could be a pickup for them. Nookie's gone down.
Yep.
Vision comes across. You can see the angles that are being worked with here. It's a line. You can see NIP holding further towards the western side, and the rest of Aerowolf littered in twos towards those buildings. They're all theirs, and there's very little else to work with. Windstrike are trying to find that little bit of terrain I think is available towards the south of this map, but down towards the west, VSG trying to come in. No, Star-Lord. What a fumble.
That's the second time we've seen someone from VSG unfortunately grenade themselves, and that's an easy pickup. Remember, Lauren, there's only 13 players here on the playing field, so the more people die, the lesser a chance Windstrike have to do this. They have to go now. There's nothing for them to lose. They've got to kill these players and crack on.
How many kills do they have? Gaxi, good nade. I do wonder how many they've been able to rack up so far. They are making that smoke route down. Tixu and Nookie on the way. It looks like Jorski and Temming arguably playing from the other side. Aerowolf have so much vision in this like tier 3 house as well. Tixu does find the Rangers player though.
How many
so
kills?
That's another kill. Can we just jump onto them to see how many kills they have, observers? If you can, we would love it.
Back of it.
Let's have a little peek towards them as they are holding that southern line for now. Aerowolf only have 1 kill, even if they're being such a nuisance. They are the team to be watching for us. As already the circle shifts again, giving compliment to NIP and to Aerowolf here. Windstrike will have to go up against them.
So Windstrike have 9. They need 11. No, excuse me, they need more than that. They need a win and 3 more kills to get through.
3 more kills.
A win and 3. They will beat them on the kills that they've got.
Yeah.
So if you draw them up, they'll go above them.
Okay, keep eyes on it. Again, we don't want to be hard committing to the maths, but you're going to have to see them keep going off. And I think they know that they have to keep getting these frags, but there's a lot of players still alive.
I think the win's the more important thing,
exactly.
because that's the big 10-point jump.
Big point jump. And the problem is for them, they're in the worst area out of every team in the circle. The 2 other teams still alive don't necessarily have to move much. That entire northern side is open, but you can't get there without crossing past one of these teams.
That's the most scary thing. NIP and Aerowolf have all committed to the southern side. Basically, Windstrike has just been held on a shooting range here. For them, they have to cross open ground, and they committed smokes earlier on. Nookie goes down. I've seen several knocks across the board. Jorski falls as well. This could be their dreams being shattered right in front of our very eyes here.
Tixu did find Gaxi, but they do need the win and 4 kills, is what I've been told. So if they can somehow manage that from now, they could still be game on. But they are down to very few remaining players. Teme is still doing everything it potentially can, but look, 11 bullets is all they have left. Using the meds, trying to stim up through this. They have so little to work with. Your last man alive for the team now. They need bullets. They need everything, potentially. They need NIP to engage towards Aerowolf. They need the attention to be drawn away from them. And I think this might be too little, too late. As actually Aerowolf are still under pressure. Miraku is about to ruin everything they've been building this entire time.
For Windstrike, the circle was not favourable. It left 2 teams holding them dead to rights. NIP, though, if they can draw the attention, team, he steps out.
Oh, he's got a kill!
Big knock here. And the fact that another player to his right side has gone down. And that's it. Aerowolf annihilates them. They're out of the running.
It looks like we might know our top 8 who will be excluded from that elimination stage, but this is still a good final moment to look at. Aerowolf have been on the receiving end of a lot of the damage coming in. NIP held great ground, and they still do hold good ground. They're far more central at this point than the other side in the aspect that they can swing north or south, but they do have that south terrain, and that's where they're committing. Gaxi and Vard on the move.
That did.
RDK, oh, goodbye RDK. That's Miraku, signed, sealed, and delivered. And now Gaxi wants in on the action. Where's the next player? He's deleted as well. NIP looking absolutely ferocious.
Even shoots his teammate on the way by. Why not? These guys need nerfing all they can, because they force the 4 versus 3 into a 3 versus 2. Mollies will go up, see if they can sustain some kind of damage. But I mean, when you look at this, they can just swing this one wide and play it. Just do a big old collapse and it's job done. Miracle will take the high ground, which is good. Because once they come out from this plateau, where else can you go? He's using a vehicle at this stage. It's questionable. I know it'll give you some sort of cover, but you're basically just making so much noise. Everyone knows where you are now.
I don't know what else they have. It's a straight plateau. If you have smokes, I mean, you can go a little further. If you want to take the fight, you got to face off against NIP. Pick what you want. It looks like they're going for the smoke approach for now. They do at least have a Car 98, so they do have the ability to get themselves out of a pin situation, but NIP look deadly. Look at this. They're working their way forward, Rich.
The creeping, the peeping. Vehicle will cause a distraction for now. It's whether or not Gaxi lets off. Comes around the corner, puts the nail in the coffin for him. No helmet on him, so an easy cleanup. And again, that came from the damage done later on. Gaxi takes a bullet for himself. That's on the K9, but he's in a 1 versus 3, and it's job done. NIP! This week so far in the group stage has been an absolute blinding run. They're at the top of the tables, and this only just solidifies it. They have been playing absolutely lights out PUBG. Coming into the PEL, people had some questions, a few concerns here and there. This new roster, what's he going to do? There was a bit of a rough start, but I tell you what, they have got here and they are living up to the standard that we expect from this organisation.
Yeah, it's good to see them putting up not only kills, but smart, aggressive play at the end. They didn't look scared for a second. I have to say again, that Windstrike storyline, I almost believed.
It was doable.
What, 3 kills away in the end and the win?
This is straight up the greatest thing about PUBG. Yeah. Until we get to that final day on the final game, nothing is set in stone and anything is possible. It was, don't get me wrong, that was a brutal, brutal circle for Windstrike. They had to go up against 2 teams literally on the... It was a ridgeline that held them back. It was basically an entrenchment.
Yeah, and now this isn't over for the teams as well. We talk about the top 8 because it's the ones that go straight through. They're the ones that get the advantage of not having to worry about the eliminations. That's pretty reasonable. But it's certainly not over. This sets them up with an incredible amount of points. It puts them right poised at the perfect place to go forward. Yeah,
the teams that will be advancing up those top 8, they lose all their points now. They sit in the grand finals with a big fat 0. That all starts on Saturday, and we go for 2 days back to back. Right now, all the teams that go to elimination finals, which we will see probably at the end of today, now we're all said and done, the analyst desk will be able to bring all that down and break it all down. But the points roll over. So you go into this with an advantage. So for Windstrike, picking up 9 kills in that placement,
very good.
It's still throwing them up the table.
Oh, it is. And there's always something to be said about teams that make it through the groups to the finals and the ones who fight it through the playoff, quote-unquote, stage. I'm sure the desk, when it comes to that point, we'll probably break down the theory behind that because it certainly exists in other games. And I'm wondering if it's the factor here. But that's not for now. For now, we have to say NIP. I love that ending. That aggression from them, that really nice play.
Fighting in the blue.
They fought in the blue, and it was just so good to watch. Like, I love watching NIP when they look that good. It was that Western play coming out of kind of the edge of Georgia pole, holding back the other teams, pushing into the blue. Anyway, I need to calm down. I'm getting too excited. I know, it's almost like PUBG is fun to cast. Who would have thought about it? Anyway, I need to go and calm down for a bit. I think I'm going to take the rest of the day off. Who'd have thought it? It's game over. We're done for. We're done.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been
alright.
How
are you enjoying casting again?
It's hard work, talking for a living about video games. How will I ever survive? Anyway, it is MBS waiting down by Freya. I'm going to go and rest and try and forget about everything we've seen today because there's only more incredible action to come tomorrow.
It is indeed. We're going down to the stage, I believe, with an interview now?
Yeah, MBS and Freya. Have fun.
That is exactly right, guys. I'm down here with MBS after that incredibly exciting game. But you look so calm and collected. How is the team feeling after that?
We're feeling really good. Like, we're calm because we already knew that we qualified to the finals just like before this game, pretty much before this whole day, because like yesterday we had a really good day. So yeah, it was just calm games, play our game, and basically don't do anything like too stupid, but yeah, play our game.
That's pretty interesting because we've seen Team Liquid, they were pretty comfortable they were going through, yet they've been going to pachinki, they've been playing against Cloud9, they've been kind of playing for fun. Are you still kind of practicing and making sure your game is on point? Is that why you've been focusing and still getting the chicken dinners?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Thing is, like, Liquid really are stubborn now. They really want to fight for pachinki and show that they don't plan to give away the city, so it doesn't really matter if they're doing well or not. But for us, we had like a team contesting us as well yesterday, the VSG, but we won the fight and they didn't come like again. And yeah, so we just basically have our 3 spots and we just play our game.
Well, you guys have looked so strong, incredibly aggressive, it's persistent, and you're considered one of the best nade teams really in the entirety of PUBG. Is that something we're going to be seeing more of as we head forward into the grand finals?
One of the best NA teams, you said?
Oh, no, sorry, nade teams, grenade teams, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, our stats in PL was really good, like with the grenades, and I think we use them really well. Of course, there's like this talks going on that the nades might be too strong, but it's just basically people carry too much of them. So, but I don't know. Everything seems fine. We won 3 games out of 12, which is more than we won in PL out of 60. So hopefully we can bring the same game like during the weekend and we can win the whole thing.
Well, I'm incredibly excited to see that. And just before we head back to the desk, we saw you in that final fight with Erev Wolf 1. Were you kind of nervous at all? Because they're an underdog team, but they did take the first win of the day. What was your approach coming into facing them?
At first we didn't really know if it was 3v4 against them or it was 2 different teams, because they had like pretty late game. They still had a 2-2 split, like playing the 3-story house, the Ridges and the Blue Shop. But it was the Windstrike guy that actually helped us, because he pushed them from south and he actually got 1 knock on them, and then we got a knock on them as well. So we just like pushed. We cleared 2 instantly, pretty cleanly, and then it was like 3v2, and we didn't let the game go, and we just took the win.
Well, you guys are going to be heading to our grand finals this weekend, but you have a day off tomorrow. You going to be doing anything nice? You going to be exploring London at all?
We did exploring already like before, like during the media days, but tomorrow is just going to be practice, watching the games, watching who made it, who doesn't, how the teams play, if they changed anything. So basically just like that.
An incredibly dedicated team down here. That is what happens when your hard work pays off. Let's head back over to the desk.
That's right, a scouting and reconnaissance mission for NIP coming up tomorrow, as they are in an amazing spot after that odyssey of a game and when it came to the final chicken dinner of the day. What a win for them. 3 chicken dinners over the last 2 days as well. NIP right now, if the tournament ended tonight, they would be world champions. However, it doesn't work like that, so do not worry. 128 points at the top. A belter of a showing here from NIP.
I think it's terrifying. I mean, the other teams who watch them play are going to have a lot of adjustments to make. I think no one's going to mess with them anywhere near their side of the map. They had amazing play in that one, and I think they earned that game, that win every step of the way.
Definitely. On top of that, kind of how they committed to camming the bridge in George. Like, that was just amazing.
Yes.
And then being able to get in, and we're talking mid-circle 3, and also survive with 3 guys, come in kind of late in that situation, and then turn it around to win. That's amazing.
I mean, I would argue that that bridge cover that they did essentially is what let them win. Yeah. They covered both bridges on that side of the map, so when they finally did rotate to the circle, there was just nobody there because they'd already died.
Well, that was the pièce de résistance for me, which was they were on one bridge, and then they realized, oh, you're not going on this bridge? We'll send MBS to the other bridge. Yeah. You ain't going to have any chance. They lost him in the end, but it was such a good play.
And then on top of that, then when NBS went down, then they sent 2 guys out to take the high brow of the hill, and then take the 2 rest of the HQ guys down.
I mean, but this is what we talk about when we talk about elimination rounds. That play was a symptom of them being so far ahead. They could say, all right, NBS, go play in the blue and defend the bridge.
Yeah.
That's where the fear comes in, why you never want to be a bottom team, because when you're ahead, you can afford to make risky choices that often pay off in big dividends.
Star-Lord, what a crazy guy with the car. We might see that later on, but just cool stuff as well coming out from VSG. I'm very happy to see it. They got themselves a ton of kills again. They'd already solidified themselves up in the top 8, and actually, now that I'm looking at it, they may have even been now 3rd place after everything is said and done. So really good from them. Any other things that you want to take away from this game, Avenger?
Very interesting game here. Unfortunate for Incognito, they kind of coming into a kind of off spot for them, so they didn't kind of clutch out the end of the day as we hoped they would, because I was really hoping for that Shui from Toffees, of course. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. This was the most beautiful, though. Star-Lord driving one guy over, jumping out, taking a bit of damage from them, but turning them in 180 degrees and just finishing both of them. What an amazing play from Star-Lord there.
I mean, I just want to say VSG has really impressed me today. It's like they came out. I think that they've embraced this idea. We talked about from the beginning. They're an aggressive team who looks for kills. This is the breach we saw earlier. Watch Hulk cook this. He tosses it in. As soon as it goes, he joins Star-Lord. The 2 of them move on the explosion and eliminate the threat. Clean, precise, perfect.
I'm glad, Toffees, that VSG, the future world champions, have impressed you. I'm really happy with that. Don't you worry.
I mean, at the end, they have impressed me, and I'm super hyped to see. Anytime a team executes that cleanly, it means the world to me, because it means a great viewing experience for all of us.
Nice stuff. All right, well, that is our highlights here for the last time for today, brought to you by NVIDIA. As I mentioned at the start of this segment here, just kind of, for me, an odyssey of a game here for NIP. When it came to, from start to finish, they looked comfortable, they were fragging out here, there, and everywhere, and it was really cool to see. We can actually take a look at how the circles played out throughout this game, and also, you know, kind of talk about how NIP was able to kind of abuse the structure of the circles and the terrain.
So for this first circle here, it's a very central circle. You usually see so many teams be able to come into this, but what was really interesting was obviously the northern shrink we see right here. It kind of turns the team to decide, okay, it's going to go south, so we're going to stay on the majority of the south side here, and this is where we discussed a lot. Is it going to go north? Is it going to go south? Because it's kind of nearly a 50-50 for it, but in the end it turned out to be in the northern side, and here already Error was in the middle, having a great split on there. They've been on the northern side for a long time. That means no kills for them throughout the whole match until towards the end. But NIP, most impressive, coming in from the western side, taking the cube kind of compound, we call it, with the bridges, and then being able to come in on the western side and take this win was absolutely fantastic.
It was a perfect circle for them to lock everyone out. It was a perfect circle for them to rotate to the north. Yeah. It was a perfect circle for where they like to drop and loot. Yeah. This was a game that, for all intents and purposes, Ninjas in Pajamas should have at least come out top 5, and now here they come out number 1. Yeah. So big ups to them, but also the other guys played very well. Airwolf had a good spread, not a lot of kills, but they locked up a huge region of territory that forced a lot of teams to make hard decisions and take fights that they wouldn't have otherwise.
You know, we've kind of focused on NIP, we've focused on NIP, and we're going to do it again because we're going to take a look at exactly how they were able to do so well there. My headset almost fell off for a moment. Let's take a look at all of the frags that were coming their way, Avenger.
Here, this kind of the push they sweep together is an amazing play from them as well. What the first thing I really like, of course, the northern shrink benefited them hugely. If this went south, there was 10 more teams on the south waiting for them, but they were able to really fast get to the 2 bridges and then take control of that and then get into the circle nicely, because everybody was kind of stuck in rush hour trying to get in there because they already left their cars because they were betting their kind of money on the circle being on the southern side.
But they played it strategically well, even if it had been a south shift. One of the keys you can take away for your home games on playing Erangel is, yes, Cube, that compound just across the bridge is incredibly powerful, but only if you also control the tower to the south. They had a player there, so that if the south shift happened, they could move to the tower and then safely move down towards ruins or yellows or wherever you need to from that point. Always cover both sides of the river if you're ever given the opportunity. These guys executed that perfectly.
And finally here for the group stage, I wish we could summon the spirit of Simon Cowell to the location, because we're going to take a look at the X Factor of the match here, brought to you by HyperX, and let's see what we have got in store for us this time. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, of course. Oh, okay. Then.
There's multiple things here. This, we just saw it here. Hulk driving into the back seat, or the kind of space of Adam's car to make sure that he didn't get away. Like the car turned around. Otherwise, Adam would most likely have been able to kind of do that. But here, Star-Lord, drive into one, turn 180, and then get the kill on both of them. That's amazing.
He gets the side slide to guarantee the crushing move, and then jumps out and goes for the spray down. And it was huge. It was very succinct. And we saw when he jumped out, he immediately pivoted backwards just in case his opponent decided to be aggressive instead of defensive. Once he smelled a little bit of blood there and said, "You turned your back to me? You don't turn your back on the Star-Lord." And he pushed it, and he has had a heck of a day. I don't care if it's a sniper rifle. I don't care if it's a SCAR. I don't care if it's an M16. This guy puts in work nonstop, and I've been very impressed with this play.
It's funny to think VSG's first day of play, of course, was a few second places here then, but 3 16th places. So they didn't have the easiest first day. This day, though, I think they topped the point earnings, actually, for this final day, which is impressive. And actually, we do have our MVP as well here for the final day of the group stages, and it may end up being a VSG member as well. I have no hand in this, just so you guys know. And it looks like it is going to be Hulk here towards the very end. Boys, how has he impressed you?
So there's multiple things. There's kind of the knowledge and the kind of positioning, but this, like driving into cars like this, so both being able to have the mechanical skill and the thought process of doing something crazy like this.
Something I want to point out that VSG does better than a lot of other teams, besides just team play, this breach, I'm so happy we get to watch again. First grenade pushes them down the stairs. They see the knock. The second grenade moves out anybody who could have been to the side of the stairwell, and they know, well, he's underneath. The thing they do well is they go for headshots. I don't know if you've noticed this. Star-Lord did it a couple of games ago, too, where he pulled out the Mini 14 and he shot left, right, and it looked like a bunch of misses, but it's because instead of dragging down on the M14, he's going back and forth and saying, I'm going to hit that head. So that's what we saw. His partner, Hulk, also does the same thing. They look for the headshot, they look for the quick kill, and I like that style.
what I really like from that breach as well is how they breach together. So when you breach into a house that you do, the first guy always goes deep. So the focus from the guy that is holding this door is shifting towards that guy. The next guy comes in fast and short and takes down that, making sure that even if your first guy gets downed, then you're going to be able to refrag real quickly and get your other guy up as well.
It's besides just about refrags, it's about drawing sight lines of your opponents, right? So if you stop at the door, it keeps the spray control or the secondary spray transfer on the door frame. If you move deep, they've got to bring it all the way back before they can stop you. So little tricks like that on those breaches you can take home, you can use with your friends, and you can guarantee success and chicken dinners for everyone.
And even if you get sprayed down and knocked, you're still going, and you're not going to die very likely in that continued spray. Very cool stuff to see there from them. Kind of other things that we want to take away, though, ultimately. We now guarantee know our top 8, by the way, as Winstrike was the one team that was trying to truly breach into that top 8. However, they did not do enough.
They were close. I mean, I was looking at it. We had 25 players left. They already did the rotations before. They anticipated the northern swing, as you said, coming in over the bridge already, being on the eastern side, taking that Harry Potter that's kind of overlooking Rushok. And then they got a lot of kills from that because we saw the northern shift. They were already in position waiting for that. And then all the teams, they started coming out. We saw OMG, we saw Blue Bees, multiple teams trying to come out. And they were at 9 kills with, I think, 6 teams still left at that point. And I was like, okay, they only need around 20, 23 points to make this jump in from Armory Gaming, as Simpson Passy was talking about. And they were close. Unfortunately, the shifts didn't benefit them. And that's why they didn't make this win and chicken dinner here.
I mean, at the end of the day, they put up such good numbers that I think that they're going into tomorrow with high confidence, high points. They can play their normal game. And like a team like Winstrike, I think has been very consistent in the first 2 days. They got kind of a bad rap a little bit from people saying, I don't think their numbers are high enough. But their averages were very good, and I think that they will have no issue coming out tomorrow and going into the finals.
Well, from 2 experts to 2 more experts as we check in now with Demon and Scoom as well, who are back in Command Center HQ. Gentlemen, it's been quite the group stage. What have you guys taken away from today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have been focused on the good. I want to look at the bad. The fact that Rangers and OMG are still not in the top 16. They are out of it. And not only that, OMG, they're 25 points off 16th place, which is bonkers.
Very impressive to see the former kind of the world champion be down there. And that's what I said before this game as well. I was surprised. I was hoping that they're going to have an amazing game to kind of end it off with.
Yeah, Scoom, your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are like I want to see how the teams adapt coming into tomorrow, because at the end of the day, the group stages, the results don't matter as long as you get into that top 16, top 8 tomorrow, obviously, because it's going to reset for the final. So if teams are on the bottom end of it right now, they shouldn't feel too bad, because as long as they get top 16, it's all that matters. So if they have a couple of good games, they're going to be up there. And I feel like the main thing that's going to come in for the finals is momentum. Yeah. If those teams at the very bottom manage to clinch into top 16 but have good momentum on their last games, it's actually more important than just being in the top 8, maybe having a few bad games, because momentum in PUBG is super important. So I hope teams refresh their mindsets, come in tomorrow and start strong.
We got new toys for tomorrow as well, so we're going to be focusing in deep on the rotations that some of these have. We noticed OP Rangers had some really bad rotations in that last game, which is obviously what cost them the places. So we're going to be trying to focus on that as much as we can tomorrow.
What I'm curious about is it going to be an advantage being kind of the top team coming tomorrow? What do you think, Scoom? Like being in the top 5, very close. Yeah, get to play more games. Are you going to be more ready for the final? I feel like it's a bit of an advantage if you're already kind of secure, like Winstrike, maybe Cloud9 is going to be.
I mean, advantage, disadvantage, I guess. The advantage the top 8 teams have right now is the mentality that they did really well. So they're going to have confidence, right? They're going to miss one day, but they do have practice rooms at the back. But I feel like the slight disadvantage that maybe the top 8 teams has, if their last games were kind of bad, they might have that in the back of their minds.
On tilt.
Yeah, maybe a little bit like maybe there's a miscommunication and they might be tilted or something like that. That could affect them, whilst the teams that are playing tomorrow might come up with a win, and they're going to be a bit more confident because of those last few games.
And we should focus. 17, Cloud9, Pachinki's back on.
Yep, that it is. And we'll end with that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Always astute here as we can almost wrap things up. And we can now check in with the leaderboards, as all of our 24 teams have done their 2 games played. Plenty of padlocks. Everyone is now locked
You get a padlock.
You get a padlock. All the padlocks. It's just so good.
Worst talk show ever. Get a padlock.
Our top 8 here is secured. Ninjas in Pajamas, Shoot to Kill, VSG, Africa Freaks, Fatal, Team Liquid, 4AM, Tempo Storm, and Armory Gaming are guaranteed in the grand final. And then from there, our bottom 16 teams will fight for the final 8 spots.
Listen, Armory Gaming and 17, sure, both were locked already, but I want to point out 2-point difference. Yeah. This is not uncommon in PUBG. Take the lesson, boys. Take it to the finals. Sometimes 1 or 2 kills, in fact, often, is the difference between a victory scenario and going home without money.
And let's actually briefly take a look here. We've talked a lot about NIP here in this section, but every gap is quite small. But the gap between NIP and Shoot to Kill is big in relative terms compared to everything else. They have had an amazing group stage.
24 points. And I said it, we talked a bit about it. I think if they keep this up, if they finish this strong, if they make sure they stay together as a unit, stay as 4, and not kind of wander off towards the end game, if we saw a few times, they will actually win this whole thing. What I'm curious to see here is Brazilian Crusaders, MB5, 47 points. They're only 12 points behind the kind of the next top 8 for the sudden death. It's going to be so close tomorrow. And some of these teams that we have, look at these names. We have Envy, we have Windstrike, we have 17 Gaming, we have Incognito, we have so many regions represented here. It's going to be amazing.
Honestly, all the way through 20, it's compacted enough that those teams could make a big move. And remember, tomorrow, your goal is not to come out number 1 necessarily. Your goal is to end up in the top 8 or top 16 as you're looking at the bracket right now. So if the cutoff is 59 to start, even sans maybe the bottom 3, I think they have a pretty tall order for themselves. Everyone else is in striking distance of 59 points.
My big question to you when we take a look at that going into tomorrow is, do we lose our current reigning world champion tomorrow?
They will need to have a Shoot to Kill NIP kind of day to kind of jump ahead because they're that far behind. But it's definitely doable. I mean, 34 points, they're not that far behind. It's 25 points.
So I think we saw moments of brilliance from them last time. We saw some beautiful stuff, like one game yesterday that was really big. We saw the bathroom fight against STK today. I think that the ONG has actually run into a lot of juggernauts in the games today and sort of been knocked out by going up against some of the big guys. And they may benefit from tomorrow coming in, being able to flex a little bit more on the teams that are left. But it's going to be very difficult.
Especially running into some of these teams that are already secured. They were like kind of careless in their playstyle. We saw the Shoot to Kill fight. They did end up kind of losing 4 guys, also Shanghai, but they've been running into a lot of Ironmen, Juggernauts, Crusaders, and that have been just careless that they didn't kind of make it because they're already in the top 8.
Well, it's a good point. STK, I don't think would have taken that fight had it been a day 1 situation. They would have just lost one guy and said, let's leave. So they did come up against that a lot. People, and that fight cost OMG big time, right? Resources, time, everything else. So I think tomorrow when people aren't with that mentality, things improve a little bit.
I think we'll end here with saying that OMG has to be an Avengers Revenger going into tomorrow, and that is that. Thank you very much, gentlemen, as I have another nickname that's kind of just stuck in my head during all of this. We're going to head down to the fantastic Frankie.
Oh, thank you very much, Caloris. Thanks, boys on the desk. I get to finish off the show today by chatting to Demon. Now, he's just been backstage, but I thought I'd haul him out on stage to be my sidekick because I started with Scoom at the start of the day. Now, Demon, our top 8 is locked. Who do you think is a dead cert for being in the top 3 and being in with a chance of taking this beautiful trophy home?
It's big, isn't it? It's a big trophy.
And also, it's not actually a frying pan. We normally see PUBG trophies being frying pans.
It's kind of like a level 3 helmet and a bomb or something. I'm not too sure. It looks like a atom bomb type thing going on there. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. But oh, top 3 overall. We're talking after the finals, right? We're talking
about who's going to be on this stage getting a medal.
Oh man, okay. I'm going to throw NIP in the ring. Obviously, the top 3 places are for PGC, right? This is going to be an extra spot at PGC, so like Europe, and then it was going to slide on down. You threw me on the spot.
I really like throwing my viewers under the bus. Team Liquid?
I would have.
Okay.
But the way things are going, I don't know. I mean, at the moment, they're in a good spot, right? Because 17 and Cloud9 have got to qualify. They've got to keep going elimination, but they're going to get through. So that's going to carry on. And that's a lot. That's like 6 games of Erangel that they could potentially lose a lot of points. If you look at their points throughout the day, they haven't really got a lot in the last 3 games. It was all Miramar.
So here is the thing, right? We saw Cloud9 and Liquid having a bit of fun today on Erangel. The question is, if we both see them in that top 16 together, Are they going to keep going to Pachinki? They could cancel out each other's chances.
Yeah, let's not roll out 17 Gaming as well, because they've been going in there and actually doing very well in there as well. So, you know, they've just slipped out, so we're going to see them clashing with C9 tomorrow. Not only that, obviously, we could maybe even see someone thinking, all right, let's maybe go Picardo instead, and maybe on Miramar, and suddenly we see them getting challenged again. I don't know. It's going to be, it's a very tricky way that it could work out, and obviously that's why, you know, they got 17 as the coach, they got analysts. This is where they earn their money.
Now, Demon, you've casted in a few big stadiums, haven't you?
A couple.
What is the esports live experience like?
Well, hopefully it's going to be cracking here tomorrow, that's for sure. We're looking towards, obviously, the audience, you know, want a bit of audience participation, getting involved in the PUBG. It's one of those build-up games. It's similar to another game I've cast before, obviously League of Legends. You could pull in that experience of the way the game kind of builds up to a crescendo sort of thing at the end there. So, I mean, we had such a close moment in that last game. That's where the excitement comes from. Like, Windstrike, could they do it? You know, they did it on the last day of PEL. Could they do it again today? They kind of fell a little bit short, but when we get to that final 16, I'm so excited to see how it's going to play out.
I have to say, my personal memory of being in the crowd at the Mercedes-Benz Arena for PGI Berlin was screaming at Gaxi when they were in the final circle. I believe they got chicken dinner on the last day. We've been talking about it on the desk all day, apparently. Yes, I do love Gaxi. I'm a shameless super fan. But the thing is, you guys at home, you could actually join us here at the ICC Auditorium at London's XL over the next 3 days. We're throwing our doors open to you. All you need to do is head to faceitglobalsummit.com and get your tickets. And before we close the show for today, I have to say a massive thank you to our fabulous sponsors. They are NVIDIA, BenQ, HyperX, and Vertigear. Our players have been sitting on their chairs all day, you might have noticed. So thank you so much to them for supporting us here, for you guys at home for supporting by watching, and hopefully I get to meet some of you in person tomorrow here in London. But for now, we're going to return at 12 p.m. tomorrow, and good night.
Below them.